I hope you're excited to start building your quadcopter because we're almost ready. There's a few supplies I'm going to suggest you get for a better experience. For example, some blue thread locker, any brand of blue thread locker. The blue means medium strength. What do we do with this? Well, I use it for the bolts that hold the motor to the airframe. I use it for the bolts in the bottom of the airframe. So as we crash and vibrate, they're not likely to come loose. This is a nice addition. Double-sided foam tape. This is one that I got from some mail order source. But you could buy the 3M branded from Home Depot or other stuff from Amazon. And you can see it's kind of thick. You stick this on things like your Spectrum radio, and the other side you peel off and you stick to the airframe or wherever you want that radio to go, and it stays put. You also can use this on ESCs and other places that you need things to stay put. Solder. Gotta have solder. You want 60-40 tin rosin core solder. Doesn't really matter what brand it is, but you'll need some solder. By the way, a nice thing to have that you don't need to buy, but it's good to have, is flux. Even though the rosin cord is a flux, if you have wires that aren't going to stick together, you put a little bit of this flux on, and then you take your wire and your solder, and it's more likely to stick. Electrical tape, because you will bare some wires that you shouldn't, and you could patch them with a little electrical tape. So it's almost as good as duct tape. You gotta have some electrical tape. Tie-ons. I usually keep two sizes, the little one and the big one. This is about 7 or 8 inches, and I think it's maybe 5 or 6 inches. And you can buy them anywhere from Home Depot to Harbor Freight to Amazon. Sooner or later, you're going to need a part that needs securing, and tie-ons are the best way to do it. Here's a few things that you hadn't thought of. Now, we don't need this for this kit, but they're always good to have in your box. This stretch and seal tape. It's for pipes. It's under $6. I picked this up at Home Depot. Comes in a few colors. What do I use it for? I wrap it around my ESCs on my arms of my quadcopter. It holds them in place. I've also used this to fix radio antennas and almost anything that I need to wrap something sturdy around. This is great stuff to have. Another nice thing I discovered is liquid electrical tape. If I have any exposed electronics, I can take a little dab of this, cover it over, or maybe some exposed wire that it's a little inconvenient to put electrical tape on, but it's easy to get the liquid version in. It's just a nice thing to have. And as you might have seen in another video, they're great for marking tools as well. Here's a little odd thing. I like to have a little lens cleaner because I get grass all over my FPV camera lens, and this cleans it up real nice. Any cheap thing will do. Now, other things that you should get, you don't need them for this build, but it's good to have in your kit. A set of standoffs. These will cost you anywhere from $5 to $12, and this is just a standard set. I think I got this from Amazon. And yes, you already have these in your kit, but they can break in a crash, so it's always good to have a few spares. And lastly, again, you already have these in your kit, but it's good to have some spare heat shrink tube. Spare heat shrink tube. These kits are like $7 to $10. They come in a variety of sizes in the box, and you just cut them to whatever size you need. It's good to have. And that's pretty much my extras. You don't need to get them, but I recommend you do. Well, you definitely need the solder. You're definitely going to need some double-sided tape. You're definitely going to need some electrical tape. And of course, my favorite, the blue thread locker. And now, I think we're ready to start building our quadcopter.